What up, YouTube? It's the Boomer Gaming Kid, and I hope you guys are doing well and everything is good and you're safe. Now, recently I was playing Mafia Definitive Edition. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've never played the original, so I went into the game completely blind, basically blind as a bat. And maybe I expected a different kind of game, because again, I was blind on it. I never checked any reviews or videos on it. I mean, I have now, and now I understand that the game that I played, it was basically meant to be like that. So a lot of the reasons why I didn't like it, there can be a lot of discussion and debate on why I'm wrong, and basically that's what the developers were going for. Now, with this rant, I'm going to try hard not to spoil anything of, just story aspects of the game. My rant is more about the actual structure of the game and why I just really don't like it. Because in reality, the best part of the game is the story. Even though the story isn't even top notch or anything, it's definitely a decent storyline, and it definitely fits the Mafia setting of the game. All the voice actors nail their lines and it's all believable. The cinematics are all right. I mean, they leave a little bit to be desired. The pacing was good, and even though if you rush through it, you can actually beat the game pretty fast. I don't know the exact time that I actually beat the game at, but I'm pretty sure it was around the 15-hour mark, maybe. 15-hour mark, maybe, yeah. But I think I beat it a bit earlier than that, to be honest. I think it was more like 12 hours. Now, off the story, for anyone who doesn't know Mafia, it's an action adventure game made in 2020. It's a remake of the Mafia game that was made back in 2002, which again, I said I never played. And they totally remade this game from top to bottom. You can definitely tell because the game is gorgeous. It really looks good. That was one of my favorite parts about it. The game takes place in Lost Heaven, Illinois, which is a fictional city. But it looks awesome. It looks really good. I can't emphasize how well they did on the city, because it just looks really good. And again, it's not like GTA kind of good, but it's structured very nice. All the buildings look believable. They pop out at you. The city looks alive, where there are people walking around going about their day. The little details are there, and sometimes when I was running around doing some linear missions and just scoping the environment that was around me, I was just so sad that the developers didn't put some more work into letting us truly explore this beautiful city that they put together for us. Because guys, that's my main gripe about this game, is actually that they made this open world game, but it's not even an open world game. There's really no reason to ever explore the city unless you're looking for boring magazines or cigarette cards. But that's it, because that's all there is to find in the city. Now, the game does have a mode where it's called Free Ride, where you can explore the city. But this mode, to my knowledge, they don't even give it to you until the end of the game, because that's when I saw it on my screen. When I beat the game, I seen Free Ride and Racing, which when I beat the game, at this point, I was so just burnt out with all the linear stuff that they made me do. I didn't even want to go back in to explore the city again. The main story was over. There was no systems in place to keep me engaged to even want to jump back in the city. Because, I found, a few side missions, and they were absolute jokes. I mean, for real, just fucking fetch quests that lead to nothing. That gets you nothing. There's no money system, so you can buy anything. There's no cars. There's no clothes. It's a freaking joke. It's an actual joke. And again, I understand this is what the developers were going for, but my question is, why? It just seems really lazy to me. Is this the game you were going for? Really? Just this mediocre story in a full-size city with all this detail and different model cars? because it seems like they were going for more. Like, it seems like the developers were going for more, but they just kind of fell short on their goal. Like, they basically half-assed this. Like, now I understand why the Mafia games get so much flack, because they're half-assed games. So much imagination went into designing the city, the sights, the sounds, but that's where the imagination ended. You could have done so much more. It's a Mafia game. There could have been taxi missions, sabotage missions, maybe Tommy, who's the main protagonist in the game, maybe he wanted some side action, or he wanted to run a few rackets. There could have been a ranking system, so you could basically become like a made man. I mean, something, anything would have been better than just a story, with nothing else to do. No side action, no race. I mean, well, you could do racing at the end of the game. At the end of the game, they let you do racing, but that's about it. There's really no side action in the game. Like, this game offers you nothing in return for the money and time you spent into it. And it just seems to be like a running theme with some of these city open world games, because even in GTA, which is the ultimate city open world game, it's basically like the map for all city open world games. Like, people structure their games around the model of GTA, hence the phrasing, GTA clones. But even in GTA 5, now I'm not talking about GTA Online, I'm talking about the main story. Sometimes the city just felt empty, like there was just not much to do outside of the missions they give you. Same shit with Red Dead Redemption. Even though Red Dead did have, hunting, fishing, stranger missions, but a lot of these just felt so disconnected from the main story. I just wish more games could get it together and developers could put more time and work into their craft. And I hate to bring up this game because everybody brings up this game when it comes to any kind of quality. When they're talking about quality of video games, this game gets brought up way too much, and I hate to bring it up, but it's just a perfect example of an awesome game that developers took their time and they got it right. And that is Witcher 3. And I know it's so cliche. Like, Witcher 3 just sounds like such a cliche anymore to even bring up in these kind of arguments. But yeah, Witcher 3. Now, I know to put a game like Mafia Definitive Edition in a conversation with Witcher 3, like, that just feels like some, David and Goliath shit. But, but why not? Why can't more games be like Witcher 3, where the world ties together so beautifully, where side quests felt more like main quests, where the game world felt alive and just brimming with discovery? When I played Witcher 3, like, I was always excited to go to a new area, always excited to go to those little exclamation marks, so I can, get a new quest, because I knew that they were going to bring me some quality stuff. I knew that there was going to be some quality there. And a lot of games just doesn't give you that same quality anymore. I just feel like a lot of these games are just so much just falling short. Maybe I'm just getting older, but I don't know. These games, it's like every time I play it, like, every time I play a game nowadays, I just feel so robbed at the end of it. Like, it's just, why do so many games feel so half done and leave you with an experience where you feeling this robbed feeling instead of feeling fulfilled? Because that is exactly what I felt off this game. And it makes me not even want to try the second or the third one, because if this is the model of the game, like, just to focus down a story, then why? Like, there's so many games out there that do so much story stuff a lot better than this can ever do. Because just like I said, like, not to spoil the story, but the story is pretty mediocre. Like, it's not until, like, freaking run home about and be like, hey man, yo, Mafia story, like, it was good. If I had to rate it, even though you guys know I don't like to rate stuff, but if I had to rate it, I'd give it like, like a 7.5 for, pretty good. Like, and you got like some perfect examples of really good storylines out there. Like, you got Uncharted 4, for example, Last of Us Part 2, You know, another example. So like, you know, why not truly make the game linear if that's what you were going for anyways? Why tease an entire open world that just acts more as a backdrop to your story? And if you were going to do that, why not make the story like actually epic? You know, not something that the player can just, you know, slump through in 12 to 15 hours. Like, give some people some bang for their buck. You know, this is not even only to Mafia, but a lot of games nowadays have this problem. Developers really need to start owning up to their crafts and put some more love and attention into it, instead of rushing through these projects so they can make as much money as they can from the consumers. This game is basically like snake oil, in my opinion. It's a cheap version of itself. But I think I'm going to end the rant there. Now, like I said, this probably won't be a popular opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people out there can debate why this game is great, which is cool. And to really rebuttal that a bit, I did enjoy this game when I was playing it, and that's why I decided to make a video about it. I just expected more. Like, when it was done, I felt robbed, and I wanted to give my thoughts on it. If you enjoyed the content though, you know, smash a huge like for me. If you're not subbed, you know, smash that subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments, you know, about what I'm talking about. What do you think about the Mafia series in general? Because at this point, I don't even want to try the other games, but that's just my opinion. Okay, guys, as always, this is the Boomer Gaming Kid signing off. God bless, stay safe, and have a great day.